KoiStarter, the creator platform, smashed its first IDO, DoragonLand, yesterday, out of the ballpark. But today, we're going to go over the numbers, the metrics, the business plan. It applies for all launchpads. But I want to use this as the case study because I believe we have another major player in town that is massively still undervalued and people haven't seen the light yet. And we're not in peak IDO season right now, but I think we're going to be in the next few weeks. So if you like today's video, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you don't know me by now, my name is Jiggy. I'm the award-winning author of The Extraordinary New Venture Capital Opportunity, How to Invest Like a Pro. Been featured in the best-selling book, High Probability Trading Strategies, back in 2008, where I used to focus on trading currencies, but now exclusive on crypto. So let's dive straight in. So KoiStarter is powered by the Creator Token, CTR token. To get KoiStarter membership, you need the Creator Token. But what I wanted to focus on today was yesterday's first IDO on this platform. So I love IDOs. I love IDO platforms. I'm a fan of a few of the companies and others that we're testing out. And this one we tested out. This one we brought to the table around a month ago, 3rd of November. And they launched KoiStarter on the 16th of November, first IDO yesterday, literally the token generation event. And they smashed it. In terms of user experience, user interface, no glitches, timing, everything was done as said. It was just really, really great. Now, they've quoted on their Telegram that the project did a 10x. Well, if you look on Dex Tools, it actually did a 29x. And I was listed to all my students that got into Creator, congratulations, well done for taking action. But many were able to sell a lot of their first allocation at around a 25x, a 20x, and some around a 15x. So it's you want to take it into consideration. Just because a price hits a certain point, you want to see where can you realistically sell. And the price was quite healthy overall. So we're going to use today's example with a 20x, right? Because what I want to do is focus on cost of membership, allocations. Allocations were good with KoiStarter. I don't know if it's just because they're new and there's not many members yet, but the allocations were healthy, like really, really healthy, mind-blowingly healthy. But we're going to cover that today. Also, keep in mind, people, because sometimes people are too much in a rush to sell their tokens at the token generation event. And rather than selling the whole amount, you want to take a look at the roadmap. What is the project looking to do? And DoragonLand, they got their beta game launching this month. They got their staking, DOR is the name of the ticker symbol for the token. Staking for the NFTs is a play to earn game, so they got the NFT section as well. And they're going to have a centralized exchange listing, which makes it easier for the masses to buy the token. So these are some of the things that are coming up in December. So even though it's done a 29x and hovering around a 10, 20, 20x give or take, keep in mind, the project hasn't started yet. It's still a baby, still a seed. And we want to allow it to sprout. So keep that in mind as well. So, we've got a few different memberships. This is the KoiStarter levels. The two main guaranteed levels is Kiku and Ume, where you need 20,000 tokens and 50,000 tokens. I'm not a big fan of lottery systems. I know they're cheaper, and sometimes if you can't afford these two, you have to go into these two and build it up. But today we're going to focus on the guaranteed allocations. A couple of things down here. The only major difference in Kiku is you get more allocation, around double the allocation, but you also get access to private sales when it's applicable. So not all projects will have private sale. DragonLand didn't have private sale. You don't have to do any whitelisting for any of these. Pre-order. I like this feature. I didn't realize what it was. Pre-order. So Kiku members, 24 hours before it goes live for the guaranteed allocation, you can pre-order. So you don't have to be at the computer. It's just more relaxed. Just got more time to do what you need to do. And then this one here is private group. I'm not sure what this was actually. Private groups. We've got private order. Oh, was this the private sale? Yeah, sorry. I got private sale. I'm not sure what private group is actually. I have to look into that. I have to look at what does private group mean. I'm going to look into that. So we're going to focus on the guaranteed allocations, right? Because I got the numbers for these. Hard to have the numbers for the lottery tier system. Right, so we've got Umi and Kiku, right? So what is the cost of the membership? Well, as of today, the price is under 50 cents. I don't know what it is when you're watching this video, but as of today, the price is under 50 cents. And to power your KoiStarter membership, you need the Creator Token, CTR. Very easy to stake. You can actually stake it on the Creator platform, and KoiStarter reads it. It's really, really clever. Or you can stake it directly on the KoiStarter platform, and it reads it as well. Or you can do a mixture of the two, and it will just add up your points, where one CTR equals one Koi point. right? So that's important to note. So what's the cost? Well, quite simply, the math is if created tokens are 50 cents, if it's $1 by the time you're watching this, then you have to obviously do the math slightly differently. But as of this video, it's around 50 cents. 20,000 tokens needed for Ume, so 20,000 times 50 cents is 10K. So to get an Ume membership, the second top tier, so not the top tier, the one down, is $10,000. Now, when you're comparing it to like Bluezilla, this is like, it's cheap, right? It's cheap. And then Kiku is 50,000 tokens, so 50,000 times 50 cents is 25,000. This is the question. How much allocation did members get for DoragonLand, and does that give us a feel for what's to come for other IDOs? I was impressed. I was impressed with two things. One, the allocation. So Umi got $529 allocation. Right. Well, if you've ever done a second tier on the Bluezilla, which I'm a fan of, by the way, I'm a fan of Bluezilla, like ETHPad, BTC pad, Tron pad, KST pad, Valus pad, all those pads. I love what they're doing. But second tier, you're getting around $90 to $120, $80. So this is very healthy, very healthy. Top tier, Kiku got $1,180 allocation for a top tier project. I'm like, okay, we need to pay attention. That's why I'm paying attention. These guys are performing. Not only did they deliver, these allocations were great. And what was also great was the token generation event. They released 33% of the tokens, right? Normally, most projects is 10%, 15%. Here it was 33%. So it gives you more choice of what you want to do with your tokens and what you want to do with them faster. So what multiple did it achieve? Well, it did a 29x. They're quoting 10x, but we're going to go with the average of a 20x for DoragonLand, right? 20x, 20x, right? 20x. So we can do some math here because we need to do the business thinking. Because what I realize when I'm talking to my students, talking on YouTube, listen to your comments, so I might not be connecting the dots for you, right? So I want to connect the dots for you so you can see the power of a launchpad, because some people are focused on just one project, right? Which is okay, but we want to look at the bigger picture and what's happening over here. So the value, right? What do I mean by value? Well, after a 20x, what is your $529 allocation worth? Well, your total allocation is going to be times 20. So that means it's worth $10,000 and $10,600. That's more than your original membership, right? And keep in mind, you still own the tokens for the membership. Yeah, and we anticipate this is going to increase in price because when people see the performance of the KoiStarter platform and the utility of the CTR token is inevitable. That is probably going to drive up the demand for the token. The value for the Kiku allocation, the 1,180, well, times 20 is 23,600. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's pretty healthy. That's pretty healthy numbers. But you got to remember, they gave us allocation or released on the token generation event, which was when it was listed, 33% of the tokens. Now, I know many of my students, they managed to sell at around 28x, 25x, 20x, and so on and so forth. Not everybody, but a lot of students did. And congratulations, well done. But again, keep in mind that this project is young. 20x, I think this is going to do 100x over the course of the next few months. So don't be too much in a rush. And there's a couple other things I want to bring up to your attention in terms of staking, the value, the utility of the DoragonLand token. What is it doing? So 33% of 10,600 is you would have been able to sell around $3,500 worth of your token, and you still own the other 67%. On Kiku, I know some people sold like $9,000, $10,000, give or take. But on average, going by a 20x, 7,800, right? So hopefully the math is starting to come together to see how powerful, overnight, or not even overnight, it's on the same day. 2,000%, that's what 20x is, right? And then the remainder of the 67%. Now, what I wanted to do in this case study, and it is a case study, and say, let's just make the assumption, right? We're making an assumption, we're making a speculation that DoragonLand's going to do well. It's going to do well. It's a strong game, strong vision, great graphics, great gameplay, what they're doing, the team and everything else. And over the course of the next 2 months, because the next 33% is going to get unlocked, your token's going to get unlocked within the next month, 1 month later, and then another 34%, the final 34%, the final month later. And let's just say on average it did 100x, the remaining 67%. What does that mean in terms of numbers? Well, keep in mind, this is what I just wanted to remind you this. I'm reminding myself as well. In December, they've got their beta game released. They got their staking of the DOR, so they're going to be APYs. So we're going to take that into account. NFTs, and then the centralized exchange listing. I don't know what listing it's going to get, but they got a lot of partners like V2 Labs. And when you have VCs like V2 Labs and some other players, they have connections into exchanges. So I wouldn't be too surprised if they got into a really, really good exchange, as in V2 Labs is in the ecosystem. So 100x for the remaining 67% of your tokens is another 35 grand. And 100x on the remaining 67% of your tokens on this part is another $79,000. All right. And that could happen within 3 months. Within 3 months. I go, that's not bad. So total would be, again, we know this is definite. This part is definite because we've done the math there. This is definite. But now this part is we're speculating. But this one position could give you 38,500, 86,800 for the KQ level for one position. But the real message is repeat the process for 20 IDOs, for 30 IDOs, for 15 IDOs. It's not just one IDO, right? And we're not even in peak season. When Bitcoin starts to break all-time new highs again, if it does, which is what's anticipated, and it moves towards a six-figure Bitcoin, these numbers, you can probably multiply them comfortably by 3x, 4x, 5x, 10x. So when we're expecting a 20x, we'll probably see a 100x. When we're expecting 100x, we'll probably see a 3, 4, 500x. That's just the nature of the markets when it comes to fear and greed and optimism and pessimism. One last thing to keep into account. People forget this. With these memberships, not only are you going to receive APY on your creator token when you stake them, depending on which staking account you put it in, some of them are 28%, some of them are 10%, 4%. You can decide which one suits you best. All of them do the same thing in the sense of give you your membership. They just have certain different lock-in periods. Is you own this underlying token. So if this performance becomes an average and then it starts performing even better in peak season, because we're not in peak season, we're kind of in this correction phase in Bitcoin and the market, where markets, money's flowing out. And for this to perform this well in these conditions is also a signal. Let's just say this doubles in price, triples in price, quadruples in price, or stays the same in price. At the end of, let's just say, the bull season, you've done 20 IDOs, you can sell your membership and you'll either get your 10 or 25K back in your pocket, or you might get a 3x, 4x, 5x, depending on the timing of the market and everything else. Hopefully that makes sense. So today what I wanted to also say is, KoiStarter, congratulations. You've made it on my top tier list. Normally it was just really Bluezilla, right? And I've created an IDO Launchpad Masterclass. It's free. It's in the link below. And it's really focused. I normally focus around the Bluezilla, but the principles apply to all of them. But what I'm going to officially do, I'm going to add KoiStarter to my course. So when you do the masterclass, it covers the high level stuff, and then you can buy my course and it goes step by step. We're actually in the process of adding some extra lessons in that process. We're like really going, what's the real value that people really need to know? But I'm going to add KoiStarter as an how-to. So if you want to how to get your membership, KoiStarter, because sometimes if you're doing it for the first time, it's not as intuitive as you would like. It's just because it's crypto, it's blockchain and everything else. And my aim, KoiStarter have announced they've got their 3 next project, Jesus, MetaFighter, and F2 NFT. But Jesus is launching on, where is it? The whitelisting. So the process is you have to whitelist your wallet and you get like a 3-day window, and it starts today. Is it today? Yeah, it starts today and the whitelisting closes on the 5th. So I'm holding myself accountable for this. I'm going to have this course added to the current IDO course. So you take the masterclass, it's free, kind of get a vibe for IDOs. Is it for you or not? Then you have the opportunity to buy one of my courses. They're running at a discount at the moment. You will also get invited to my private Telegram where you'll get exclusive access, premier access to all YouTube content. All YouTube content is what we do. And by the 4th, I'm going to have added KoiStarter. I'm hoping I can deliver. I normally do deliver, right? I'm going to make sure I get this done. I want to add it in. So it's a step-by-step guide on how to just get set up. Because, you got to buy your tokens, you got to stake your tokens, you got to do a couple of other things, and it's not that intuitive if you're not used to it. And then once you've done it a few times, it becomes very, very easy. So let me know what you think. Do you like KoiStarter? I think it's going to be one of the top players in the peak part of the last 20% of that bull run when Bitcoin starts making all-time new highs again, moving towards 6 figures. If it does that, I think KoiStarter is going to be one of the major players, really undervalued right now. But also keep in mind, the CTR token, which is required for the KoiStarter membership, has other utility outside of KoiStarter. It runs its blockchain as a service platform where projects are building on their no-code smart contract and low-code dApps. That means the probability of the CTR token having higher demand is going to go up because there's other utility outside of just KoiStarter as well. But I think KoiStarter is going to add a huge demand for that token, for the creator token, because you just saw the numbers. You just saw the numbers. So we're not making up these numbers. That was what the performance was yesterday. Jesus is going to be, well, whitelisting is today. So it's next 3 or 4 days. We'll see how that performs. And then it's really now is the time, similar to the video that I did in August about Trump had, when it was really undervalued. It was 0.028. And I said, look, guys, it's not peak IDO season. The market's in this correction phase. So therefore, IDOs are not anticipating, we're not anticipating them to do, I'm not anyway, personally, to do incredibly well. Some will be outliers. DoragonLand was a good one, like really good one. I'm really impressed with that. We got Meta VPad coming up on the Bluezilla ecosystem on the 10th of December, so around 8 days. I think that's going to be an outlier because of the hype around it. It's almost like ignore the market conditions. But then on average, others might do so. But then in peak conditions, that's when we want to be really, really sharp, have everything in play so we can just execute. All right, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Take my free IDO and Launchpad masterclass is in the link below, and I'll see you soon. Oh, wait. Quote of the day. It's like, gee, you're forgetting something. I got a meeting that I got to go to, and I'm probably running late for my meeting. So I was like trying to wrap up. All right, here we go. Rule number 1. Yes, you know it. Rule number 1, what is it? Never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget. Rule number 1, Warren Buffett. That's why I wanted to go over the numbers in the business case study, because I realized most people don't like numbers. I got a degree in sports science and mathematics. I used to be a math teacher, but you don't need degree level math. It's just simple addition, simple takeaways, simple multiplications that you can kind of do the numbers, get risk free, and then hold, know about staking, know your business plan, and then just execute. Have your price alert set in play so you don't have to watch the market, and just be, well, as much as you can, non-emotional. But if you write your plan out, it makes it easier to be objective and non-emotional. All right, there you have it. I'll see you soon. Keep well.